Welcome to the city of brotherly brain. Have you ever pondered how your morning coffee ritual originated? How this dark, aromatic beverage found its way into your cup? Our tale begins in the verdant highlands of Ethiopia around the 9th century with a goat herder named Kaldi. Legend tells us Kaldi noticed his goats frolicking with unusual energy after nibbling on the red berries of a certain bush. Intrigued, Kaldi decided to sample these berries himself and experience the same vitality. Word of this magical berry quickly reached the nearby monastery. The monks, finding that the berries aided their nocturnal prayers by keeping sleep at bay, began to cultivate the plant. Thus, coffee, the wakeful brew we know and love, was born. The use of this invigorating beverage spread rapidly, first throughout Ethiopia and then across the Arabian Peninsula. So the next time you enjoy your morning cup, spare a thought for Kaldi and his lively goats. As the popularity of coffee spread, how did it become a global phenomenon? Let's journey back to the 15th century, to the Arabian Peninsula, where the first coffee houses known as kave-khane began to appear. These establishments were more than just places to enjoy a cup of coffee. They were the pulsating heart of community life, places where people gathered to play chess, watch performers, listen to music, and exchange news. Fast forward to the 17th century, and the enticing aroma of coffee wafted its way to Europe. Coffee houses sprang up in major cities, quickly becoming hotspots for intellectual discourse. Here, philosophers, artists, and scientists would congregate, their minds fueled by the invigorating brew. It was during this period that coffee began to replace traditional breakfast drinks of the time, such as beer and wine. Even today, coffee houses continue to serve as a hub for social and intellectual exchanges. From the Middle East to Europe, coffee next set its sights on the New World, but how was it received? In the mid-17th century, coffee arrived in New York, then known as New Amsterdam. But this new beverage didn't create the stir one might expect. The New World was a tea-drinking society, and coffee was seen as a foreign oddity, a curiosity at best. But change was brewing. The Boston Tea Party of 1773, a pivotal moment in American history, unwittingly played a significant role in shifting the beverage landscape. In an act of rebellion against British tea taxes, American colonists dumped hundreds of chests of tea into the Boston Harbor. Following this event, drinking tea was seen as unpatriotic, and Americans began to look for an alternative. Coffee, once the outsider, suddenly found itself in the limelight. Meanwhile, further south, the fertile soils of Latin America proved to be ideal for coffee cultivation. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Latin America experienced a coffee boom. Countries like Brazil and Colombia emerged as leading coffee producers, their beans sought after for their unique flavors and qualities. And so the New World, once dominated by tea, found a new love in the rich, intoxicating aroma of coffee. From the bustling streets of New York to the verdant hills of Brazil, coffee had found a new home, a new audience. From a tea-dominant society, the New World quickly turned to embrace the rich aroma of coffee. From its humble beginnings to its global dominance, how has coffee shaped our world today? As we sip our morning brew, it's easy to forget that coffee has become one of the most traded commodities on the planet. The vast networks of trade that span the globe, from the coffee plantations of Brazil to the bustling cafes of Seattle and the espresso bars of Rome, all pivot around this unique bean. The economic impact of coffee is colossal. It sustains millions of jobs, from farmers to baristas, and generates billions of dollars in revenue each year. And let's not forget the boost it gives to our productivity. In recent years, we've seen the rise of gourmet coffee and the third-wave coffee movement. This has brought an appreciation for artisanal methods, a focus on sustainability, and a deeper understanding of the diverse flavors and aromas coffee can offer. Beyond economics, coffee holds a significant cultural value. In Italy, it's an essential part of the daily rhythm, enjoyed at the bar with friends and colleagues. In Ethiopia, the birthplace of coffee, it's at the heart of social and religious ceremonies. In Sweden, the tradition of fika, a coffee break that's more about socializing than the drink itself, is a cherished part of the day. Whether it's a sophisticated espresso or a humble cup of joe, coffee continues to energize and inspire us. As we've journeyed through the rich history of coffee, we've seen its transformative power. From its humble origins in Ethiopia, through the rise of the Ottoman coffee houses, to its triumphant arrival in the New World, coffee has shaped societies and cultures. Today, it continues to invigorate our mornings, fuel our conversations, and connect us in a shared global tradition. So next time you sip your coffee, remember you're not just drinking a beverage, you're participating in a global tradition that's centuries old.